Hi! I decided that I've made way too many exam videos, and plus it is kind of nearing the end of exam season, so let's get out of that. Let's stop thinking about that stuff. I decided I would make a story time video just because it's been a while and I had a good story. This is the story of how I nearly had an accident going into uni. Actually, you'll be able to tell from the title, but anyway. So, basically, flashback to, I think, earlier this year in January. And basically I had this 9 AM lecture thing it was a mechanics lecture with this teacher, and he was a nice guy, and it was really fun, and it was okay. But he does this weird kind of shaming thing if you come late, and he makes you kind of say sorry to the person who has to open the door for you and explain yourself and make jokes of things. And for me, who was super awkward, I hate that, and so I just kind of avoid that at all costs. So in general, I tried to get to that lesson really early, but this was like a 9 AM lecture, and I'm not really a morning person, so I didn't really like that, but it's fine. Basically, I'm doing a foundation year, so it's not so much lectures as it is like a classroom situation. It's like really small. It's in a classroom. It's pretty much just lessons. But yeah, it's small, it's in a classroom, and it's just 30-ish people, 30-odd people. And so it is intimate, and it makes it so much more awkward. And for me, who is super awkward, I really didn't want to put myself in that situation. So I was like, nope, I'm going to go early every single lesson if possible. And so I was walking, because I live really close, student accommodation. I live really close, so I was walking to the uni to do my lecture, and it was like 8:50-ish, and because it was a 9 AM lecture, and I was only 5 minutes away, so I wasn't in that much of a rush, but I walked quite fast anyway. And so I was walking down this road, which is just like this straight road, and it goes down this ramp, this incline, it's down, and on this road, this road is one big corner like this, and there's like other roads and everything, but this is what I'm focusing on. It's this one big corner, and there's this little square here, and it has like this little minor road here, and from like when you're walking from here, you couldn't take this minor road and take a shortcut or go this way. And for me, taking the minor road is just a lot more turning and stuff, so I just don't do it. I don't bother. And so I just kind of cross this little minor road at this place and at this place, and so I go around the main corner. But on this kind of corner is a traffic light right here, and on this corner traffic light, all the traffic that's coming down this giant road into this corner just stops at that traffic light. And sometimes what happens is that when this traffic light is on red, people take this minor road and just kind of bypass the light, and they can just carry on going straight. And so that's what people usually do. So when I was going down this road, I crossed this road, like this junction of the minor road, perfectly fine, no one was coming, and I'd gone round the corner, and I was about to cross this side of the road, and no one was coming. Like, I saw this moped, like I stopped and looked. Granted, I know it wasn't for as long as I should have, and I am sorry for that, but I stopped and looked, and I saw like this white Vespa-ish moped, and it was like on this corner of the minor road. So I was here, it was there, it was a good amount of distance away, and it was a moped, it can't really go that fast anyway. But yeah, it was this little white Vespa-ish moped, and it was like 8:50 and everything, and I was just like, okay, I had walked up to that road, and I was like, I had gained momentum, and there was people walking on the other side of the road who had completely stopped, but I had my momentum, and this guy was like a good amount of distance away, so I was just like, you know what, I'm going to carry on walking. And I walked straight ahead, and it was kind of close. Like, it doesn't take a skilled driver to stop from that distance or kind of go round me at that speed, but it was close-ish. But I remember thinking in my head that day, I was like, yeah, I should probably stop. Like, forget the momentum that you have. You should probably stop. And I thought that in my head, but I was just like, you know what? Let's not overthink about this thing. You didn't get hit. That's fine. Just don't do it again in the future. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I carried on walking, and I went straight to my lecture, and I sat down, and everyone was doing work, and my lecturer gave us work, and we were all just sitting there. And then he was like asking people questions about how the work is going and if we're all okay with it. And then he came up to my table and quite loudly was just like, oh, how did you get into uni today? And I was like, I got in fine. Like, I didn't know what he was kind of expecting from me. So I was just like, yeah, I got in fine. It was perfectly good. Everything was okay. And then he was just like, oh, really? Did you see a white moped on your way in? And I was just like, I'm sorry, what? What? And he was just like, there was no point denying it at this point. So I was just like, oh, let me just admit it. So I was like, yeah, I saw a moped. And then he was just like, oh yeah, you kind of got close with that moped, huh? Like, it was a close run. You need to be watching more you should really watch more where you're going. And I was just like, oh my god. I was just like, in my head, it was like a million thoughts at once. I was just like, was he there? Was he in a car? Like, was he walking? Did he see me? And he was like, yeah, it was me in the moped. I was driving a moped. And I was like, oh, god damn it. Because it was just going to be so awkward. And he, like, openly called me out in front of the whole class and was just like, yeah, you should listen a bit more. And to this day, like, it's been a good amount of time since that has passed, but to this day he keeps mentioning it all the time, and he's like saying how he mentioned it to his fellow staff members and was like, yeah, I nearly ran over one of my students, and it was just so awkward, and little old awkward me just kind of like shriveled up into a ball and was just like unable to cope with it. And I was just like, I want to run away, I want to not have to deal with this anymore. It was just the worst. But yeah, to this day he still mentions it, and I'm a survivor. I mean, when he mentions it, he makes it sound like I'm a lot more incompetent than I was. It was a tiny moped. It was barely moving. I would have survived, but anyway, whatever. Yeah, so that was my big story of survival, and I'm sorry if this title was a bit clickbaity, but that's what happens when you have a boring life. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Oh, God. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, if you liked it, make sure to like it, and if you want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe. Thank you, and I will see you again. Hopefully, you will see me again. Bye.